The sun beat down mercilessly, its rays unrelenting and fierce. It turned the sand into an ocean of shimmering fire, a vast expanse of burning gold. The air rippled with heat, distorting the horizon and making the landscape seem like a mirage. A group of figures stumbled across this desolate landscape. They were survivors, the last remnants of humanity. A catastrophe, its details lost to the searing wind, had ravaged the world, leaving nothing but desolation in its wake. These few remained, clinging to life. They had heard whispers, faint and elusive, rumors of salvation, of a place untouched by the devastation, of a line etched into the very fabric of existence, a boundary between despair and hope. A line that offered a choice, a chance to escape the endless suffering. The survivors, haggard and weary, finally saw it. It was real, not just a figment of their imagination, a shimmering distortion in the air, like heat rising from the scorched earth, marking the boundary. It stretched as far as the eye could see, a shimmering barrier, an invisible line that seemed to pulse with life. They had reached their destination, but their journey was far from over. The hardest part was yet to come. The line pulsed with an unseen energy, a force that seemed to beckon and repel at the same time. A silent invitation, and a stark warning, a promise of something beyond comprehension. Hope and fear warred within their hearts. What lay beyond? What new challenges awaited them? What price would be demanded? They stood at the threshold, ready to face the unknown. Among the survivors, a figure commanded respect. His presence was a beacon of hope in the desolate landscape. He was known only as the Guide, a name that carried weight and reverence. He had walked these wastes longer than anyone could remember. He had seen more than most could fathom. He had heard the whispers on the wind, secrets carried from distant lands. The Guide gathered the survivors, his voice raspy but firm, echoing with the authority of experience. "This is the line," he announced, his gaze sweeping across their faces, each one etched with worry and hope. "It offers a choice, a chance," he continued, his words hanging in the air like a promise. He explained the legend of the line, a tale passed down through generations, how it was a bridge to a new existence, a world beyond their wildest dreams. A world untouched by the catastrophe that had ravaged their own. But the passage came at a cost, a price that weighed heavily on their hearts. To cross the line, one had to sacrifice a part of themselves, something deeply cherished. A memory, a loved one, or a core belief. The choice was deeply personal and profoundly difficult. The price varied, whispered the wind. But it was always dear. The Guide fell silent, his eyes reflecting the weight of his own sacrifices. The survivors stared at the line, each lost in their thoughts, contemplating the enormity of the decision before them. The weight of their decision pressed down on them, a tangible force that seemed to make the air itself heavier. The first to step forward was a young woman named Ilara. She was not just any young woman, she was someone who had faced unimaginable loss and still found the strength to move forward. She had lost everything in the catastrophe. The world she once knew was now a landscape of ruins and devastation. Her family, her home, her dreams, all turned to ashes, leaving her with nothing but memories and a burning desire to survive. She approached the line with a determined glint in her eyes. Each step she took was heavy with the weight of her past, yet filled with the hope of a new beginning. As she neared the shimmering barrier, the air around her crackled. It was as if the very atmosphere was alive, reacting to her presence. A voice, soft yet insistent, whispered in her mind. It was a voice that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. It asked for a memory that was dear to her heart, the memory of her brother's laughter, a sound that had once brought her so much joy. Ilara hesitated, her resolve wavering. The memory was precious. It was one of the few things that still connected her to her past. But the pain of the present was unbearable. The weight of her losses pressed down on her, making it hard to breathe. She closed her eyes, a single tear tracing a path through the dust on her cheek, and relinquished the memory. The line rippled. Ilara stepped through, she was gone. She had made her choice and there was no turning back. One by one, others followed. Each person carried their own burdens, their own stories of loss and hope. Each faced their own terrible choice. The price of passage was different for everyone, but it was always steep. A musician surrendered his ability to create music. The melodies that once flowed from his fingers would be no more. A mother, the memory of her child's first steps. The moment that had filled her with pride and joy was now a sacrifice for a chance at a new life. Section 4. The Weight of Choice. Now, you stand before the line. The guide turns to you, his eyes filled with an ancient sorrow. The choice is yours, he rasps, his voice hoarse with age and experience. What will you sacrifice? What part of yourself will you leave behind? Look deep inside yourself. What defines you? What makes you, you? Is it the love you hold for your family, the passion that drives your dreams, the very essence of your being? Can you sever the threads of your identity? Can you pay the price for a new beginning? Or will you turn away from the line and face the unknown horrors of this dying world? Section 5. Beyond the Veil. Some, unable to bear the cost, turn away from the line. They choose to remain. They accept their fate in this desolate world. They cling to the remnants of their identity. Their future is uncertain. They face hardship, hunger, and despair, but they do so on their own terms. Those who cross the line find themselves in a new world, a world untouched by the catastrophe. It is a world of vibrant life, a world of second chances, but they are forever changed. The part of themselves they sacrificed is gone. They build new lives, carrying the weight of their choices. They remember the world they left behind, and the price they paid to escape it. Section 6. Echoes in the silence. The line remains, a shimmering testament to choice and sacrifice, a silent judge of human resilience. The desert wind whispers tales of those who dared to cross. Their stories serve as both warning and inspiration. The invisible line is not just a boundary, it is a mirror. It reflects the depths of our being. It forces us to confront our values. What would you choose? What price are you willing to pay for survival? The answer, like the line itself, is both elusive and profound. It lingers in the silence of the scorched earth, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit, and the sacrifices we are willing to make in the face of oblivion.